I'm Geoff Nemnich.
And I'm Rick Paillet.
And we're the hosts of The Last Stand. Coyote hunting is my passion.
And coyote calls are my livelihood.
And together we aim to bring you the best predator hunting tips, tricks, and tactics, right down to The Last Stand.
The Last Stand, presented by Lucky Duck Predator Calls. We are the masters of deception. Daniel Defense, manufacturing freedom. Swagger Bipods, shoot with confidence, shoot with swagger. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable.
Just kind of sticking with what's been working, even though it's middle of the morning, late morning actually. I'm just starting off with some lone female howls. On the last stand we killed that triple. Those coyotes were all close enough to hear the howls obviously, but they didn't howl back. So just because you howl and you don't get a coyote to howl back, don't assume that there's nothing there. So, but it is one of those things that, you know, can either spark a territorial response out of a coyote. Curiosity, maybe that's, you know, draws them in a little bit to see what's over here. But nonetheless, I'll start with some lone howls. Sit here quiet for 30 seconds or so and then roll into some rabbit.
When it's cloudy, I'm telling you, the coyotes are impossible to see unless they're moving.
Ready to go. Got him? He's hard shot. Just like that, there's a coyote right at the call. It's not ideal conditions right now for spotting these coyotes. Overcast, calling all this gray sage, but I look down and this coyote's 40, 50 yards from the call. When they're that close, I didn't want to bark. I didn't have time to reach down and hit my preset. And if I'd have barked up here, you probably looked up and seen us and ran off, which happened anyway, but he got kind of right beside the call. I don't know if he winded it, saw it, whatever, but he took off. But it was an easy 50, 60 yard runner. It's only been about 5 minutes. We're gonna keep calling. Well, we're letting this stand wind down here before we get up and go get this coyote. As you'll see us when we're sitting on stands, we're always sitting here with our gun on our shoulder. We're ready to go. And that's a prime example of why we do that. That coyote got in right on us. And if I'd had my gun down like this, you know, that's just that much more movement for me to come up and get on that coyote, for him to see us, pick us out, spot us, whatever, you know, that coyote runs off. So when you see us up here, there's a reason we do this, you know. So over the years, from doing that, taught us, get your gun up in your shoulder and be ready. Because as far as you know, in this stand, we thought we could see really well, catch them out there, but before you know it, you always have a coyote right at the call that you didn't see coming in.
What sound was it? That's exactly why Rick named that sound TNT Cottontail, so he could sing the AC/DC song every time walking back to the truck dragging a coyote.
Yep, it's dynamite.
Right here, to my right. He's just this side of that red grass. See this red grass right here? He stopped, he's just standing there looking at us. There he is, going to the right, see him? Boy, that coyote was hard to see. About 4 minutes in, he ended up just pegging us. He started to go right for the wind, but he didn't know what we were. Got him to stop, so. Well, a product of the gray day we have, and the gray sage and gray coyotes, and it just, man, they're hard to see in this stuff. And the coyote was probably only 150 yards when he come out of that red grass, and he wasn't running hard. He was just kind of trotting, and he picked us out. I think it was a product of him kind of coming in from more to the side where he had us maybe possibly skylined on this side hill a little bit like that. But Nonetheless, if you just sit tight, don't freak out. You know, he turned and started going for wind, which gave me a good, 150-yard broadside shot, which is really all you can ask for. So, looked like a nice pale coyote. Let's go check him out.
Nice eye. Nice eye. Good job, man. Funny how things work sometimes. Geoff got done calling. He gave us a signal that he's done. I actually was getting up when Max said, "Here comes another one." I don't know how the coyote hadn't seen me, but sure enough, nasty mangy coyote was still coming, so I got on my hand call and started giving some toots to let them know we had another one coming. He was coming right up here. I just took him the first shot I got. Nasty mangy thing, but
Little pleasant surprise. We've been putting TR on the downwind side with the other camera. I couldn't see him. He was downwind of us, maybe 150 yards. This coyote was actually not far from him, actually. But I come around the hill and there he is walking out to get a coyote right now. So we got a double.
well, mange has been around for many years. It's a nasty disease. It's a mite that gets under their skin and kills their hair follicles. Their fur starts falling out. They start scratching and itching on it. It's basically a slow, nasty death sentence for them. So a lot of times they'll freeze to death. It's amazing though, they're usually still pretty smart, and some of the big fat ones that we killed are mangy. They figure out how to find food sources and survive. I mean, the coyote is a survivalist, but the best way to get rid of mange is to kill the ones with mange and stop the spread. I thought he had told me to move forward because we were sitting next to each other and he said something about, no, he's like, no, I meant something or other. And so I got up and he goes, so he was telling me, he's like, no, I was telling you that there could be one right there in the bush or something or other. And then he goes, there's one right there. And I was like, where? And he's like, it's coming. I got down, I was like, where? He's like, right there, coming. I was like, oh. So I started blowing on my call. You were already done.
I was already walking out.
And so he was 200 yards down there from that fence. I shot him on this side of the fence after you had done your barks. I'm serious.
We still didn't even hear it walking out there.
No, we never heard your shot.
So for the final day of our hunt, we only have a half day. And we hook up with some good friends at TR and Rick's, Mark and G, and we're gonna hunt Mark's place.
Me and TR been coming out here on Mark's for years, probably late 80s, early 90s, and we got a lot of spots where we know where we like to go and it'd be good filming. And second stand, third day, where we got the wind bad, so every set in the morning we gotta look into the sun. There just ain't no other way to do it. I don't know, hopefully something comes from the left and not out of the sun. I'm having a little trouble seeing. My glasses are fogging over. We get set up, I'm looking to the right. G and TR, they're looking kind of out in front and to the left, and TR's running a call. And I have a coyote, I don't know, probably 300 plus, show up out in this little flat. But it just sets down out there. I don't know if it's seen something flashing or reflection, or it was all I had my hat pulled down as far as I could pull it down, and the sun was just at that angle where you can't do nothing. And then I heard them whispering about a coyote over right in front of them, so I didn't dare turn to the left or do anything. I just had to sit there and try to listen to what was going on. And well, we got the wind out here with TR and G and working on the last stand, and the way the wind is, we're having to look into the sun in the morning, or we're trying not to, but there was one popped out over here in this corner and just held up there, and then I heard you guys whispering over here, and there was one over to the right, then to the left, and I don't know when it showed. Was it there for quite a while or what? So I didn't even move because of the way the sun and glasses, and we had to be look like Christmas trees lit up here on the side of this hill, but G got him whacked down there, so we left Geoff over the hill, so watching the downwind side, because we seen one when we were driving in here as well. So all right, let's get the rolling. We got to get some more. So the next spot TR and I decided to go, we've been going to as well for a long time, and it is a big old yellow bottomed bowl, just a beautiful filming spot. And TR starts out with Smoke Howl 1, and he let it, I don't know, probably 30 seconds worth, and I see 2 coyotes to the left way up in the yuccas. I mean, screaming in. 2 of them. TR switches to rabbit, frail tail, and they really turned and angled in and turned the gas on even more then, and they rolled in there. There was quite a separation between the two, and I noticed the back one starting to check up a little bit, like he wasn't liking it, and the lead one stopped, and I decided to go ahead and take it. I'll shoot the front one when he gets up here. You see that first one? Bang! Tipped it over, and then I've been wanting to shoot something running. I know I probably should have let TR keep trying to stop it. He had the barks going, and it thought about stopping, but I started shooting at it and didn't get it. We're definitely thinking the stand's over now, and I'm folding up my swagger and setting up. G says, "There's a coyote right behind you," and there had been one come in behind, and it goes tearing off, and TR got it stopped, and I got situated, and I had a good shot, but I just muffed it. So we got set up in here. TR did some smoke howls. We had a pair come charging in over here. I zapped the one. And then we're starting to get up, and there's a G says, "Coyote right over here," and I was like, holy crap, it's about 70 yards away, and then, I don't know, I rushed the shot and pooched him.
Been a rough morning for shooting.
Yeah, I've seen worse. I've seen better. I was wiggling all over. I should have just waited a little bit.
You got nervous or what?
Yeah, when you get kind of backdoored like that, yeah, I did get gooned up a little. Yeah. All right, so the next stand, I'd kind of had my dauber down, you know, because I'd basically missed a chip shot. We got set up, and Geoff was way downwind. I mean, like 300 yards probably. And
So Max and I head downwind, and we're along on this particular stand. In order for me to get some cover, some yuccas to sit by, I felt like I needed to get downwind about 200 yards. I was debating about where I should sit, but it was an omen. This was laying right by this yucca, so That's where I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna kill me a coyote that comes right around that corner right there.
TR starts the standoff with a few howls, and off to my left I had a little ridge line running down, and Max is sitting with the camera right off to the side, and I'm kind of getting situated, and I'm kind of looking out front, and Max says, oh look, there's a jackrabbit off to your left. And I look over, and on the ridge line about 125 yards, I see just this little white speck, and I kind of look over there and think, that's kind of funny. Well, about the same time, TR fires up the rabbit, and the coyote hears it, and the coyote comes running right up onto the top of the hill. So I'm excited that, man, this coyote's gonna come right down in front of me. And sure enough, the coyote kind of takes off down in front of me, and you know, we're calling in pasture grass this tall, and we're trying to blend into these yuccas the best we can, but when the coyote gets 150 yards, they pick out everything, and that's what happened.
Two of them. I should stop. Whoa! TR had let out a howl. This coyote popped up right here. They were kind of running across. The second coyote came up the hill. The one coyote actually I think was going to try to run clear across there. The other one turned to leave. I dropped him right out here about 150. Got a couple pretty good running shots at this one, but I had my scope zoomed in. It kind of screwed me up. Well, there's that coyote right there. 414. I'm in here. Good. The pup. Here he comes. He's coming back to the pup. Yeah. I'm gonna be patient. TR switches the pup and he's coming back. He's coming across up there. There he is. He's coming right to the call. He got him running.
I freaking hit one running. Hey, I'm back. Man, I don't even know how I did it.
That coyote come running right into him about 100 yards. He couldn't get it to stop, and it looks like maybe Rick took a shot at it, kind of run and missed it, and then they rolled, just cartwheeled him on the second shot.
Is that the same one?
Yeah, that's the same coyote that looped all the way around here. It's pretty awesome. I'm like 250 yards downwind of him. I shoot this coyote, and I got to watch all that unfold. That's pretty sweet. We got us a double down. And we shot him about. Crazy thing is, from my coyote to Rick's coyote, or maybe G might even have rolled that one running. She might have showed Rick what was up. I'll bet you that's 600 yards between our two dead coyotes. He shot his far to the right, I shot mine far to the left.
It started off that they were both with each other.
Yeah, and they both were right with each other. We ended up finally killing them 600 yards apart.
Oh man. Oh man. Man, that thing is beautiful. That might be the palest coyote I ever shot. I was definitely surprised, you know. It takes some special lot of shooting to be able to shoot running coyotes, and I get a few here and there, but I say they're luck. So that coyote was so pale, I'm thinking about getting it mounted, or at least for sure skinned, and I'll have it hanging in my room.
Could you guys ever, you never,
We saw them on the hill.
When I shot 'em.
They were there quick.
yeah, so so you let out the howls, and Mac's like, oh, look, there's a jackrabbit over to your left. And I look, and it's just the head of the coyote looking over the hill at us. And I'm like, I'm looking at it for a second, and that was right about the time he hit the rabbit. And it comes, oh, running up, and I'm like, oh. And it starts cutting right across in front of me. And then the second one come up a little lower, and it was down there maybe 100 yards from me. And then it kind of looked up and kind of saw me, and it kind of turned and started to go back down the draw. And the second one stopped right there about 150, and I said, well, I'm just gonna shoot this one. Shot it, and then got 2 shots at that one running down the draw, and it went around the corner. And then you hit the pup, and there it is standing out there at 400, and I'm like, all right, Max, get ready, I'm gonna get it. And then about that time, it starts running up the draw. So it knew I was over there, but it wanted to run clear around over here so it could stay away from me, because it was running hard down there, and then pretty soon it comes straight over the hill at you.
We saw it leaving.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, right there. And so then I went to Schoolyard Brawl, and it like, then I was like, it's coming, it's gonna come.
And then I was thinking, but I was surprised when I saw it was coming over the hill straight at you guys.
Oh, yeah. Couldn't get it stopped.
No, I was looking at that. I was watching my binoculars.
I was like, please stop. I made a wreck out of the last stand. Well, I just shot a runner on the last stand. We're still out in this wide open stuff. Got some yuccas right here we're backed up into. TR started off with Smoke Owl 1. Now he's playing TNT. Got G to my left. I'm scanning for a coyote.
If he stays low, I'm just gonna let him go right in front of me here. Wind's good, or wind's going this way. I'm assuming this coyote's gonna keep his path, and I'm gonna let him go right past us, right up to the call.
So we just had one show up in the bottom, clear to the left here, come right up the bottom, funneled up through there and kind of picked us out up here a little bit and got out of there. And I believe Jeff or I or somebody got him rolled up down there, and probably was Jeff. We all know how well I shoot running coyotes.
You know, it's always fun coming out here hunting with TR. Already looking forward to coming out next year for our annual trip doing this. And then special thank to the landowners, especially Mark and G, for tagging along with us this morning and showing us around.
I love coming out here to the eastern plains of Colorado, especially Mark's. It's probably my most favorite other than around home.
Just a spectacular time, awesome ranch, and tons of coyotes.
See you next year.